Africa to talk about the pressing issue of the time. This week, we are talking about investing in gender equality for Africa's transformation. Africa has a lot of potential in the continent. The continent is home to some of the world's fastest growing economies and offering great potential for businesses, growth, and new markets. And yet, there's a lot of gender inequality which is limiting this potential. A lot of good news and lots of success stories for women, especially those that are at the top of the pyramid, yet not so for millions of ordinary African women. And because of the failure to embrace gender diversity, millions of African women are going to quit the stage without reaching their full potential. And that is our focus today. Of course, many of you have always said that we don't bring women to the platform. Of course, they are showing up. And today we have lots of them to talk about investing in gender equality for Africa's transformation. Time, ladies and gentlemen, for me to make a presentation of my panelist for today. We are going to be having Dr. Fotabe Elmine. Dr. Fotabe Elmine is the founder of the Fotabe University Institute. Fotabe, she has expertise in human resource management from the Mediform Business School in Rome. She has expertise in psychology and mental health from the University of Liverpool in the UK, a corporate trainer who has trained middle managers from organizations across the country. Dr. Fotabe Elmine is the former assistant dean of the School of Business of the Catholic University Institute of Boya, former rector of the JSF Polytechnic. She is a social entrepreneur with 6 companies to her credit, created in over 12 years, and the current founder and president of the Fotabe University and the Cameroon representative of the Rome Business School. She's with us in the studio just on my right. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Fotabe Elmine.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, and we are going to be joined from the United States of America by Lumbie Mlambo. Lumbie Mlambo is from Zimbabwe, a mother, a wife, a graduate from the Indiana University, South Bend, and Texas Women's University. Tony Lumelo Aluma, Global Goals Ambassador, United Nations Women's Member, Global Goodwill Ambassador, and the United Nations Global Water Partner, active advocate for clean water. And of course, she empowers women and girls to lead healthy and fulfilling lives. Lumbie Mlambo was born in Zimbabwe but moved to the United States in 1985. She resides in Dallas, Texas, and inspired by her orphaned father, who never went to school, she served as a revered humanitarian in his local community. Lumbie took the leap to continue her father's legacy by creating a humanitarian organization in her father's name, JB Dondolo, that moves across Africa, donating water, clean water, to impoverished and underserved communities. Lumbie Mlambo, what a pleasure to have you on 90 Minutes in Africa again.
Thank you, BOH Elvis. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited to share my ideas and opinions with all the ladies. I think it's going to be wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And also with us in the studio, we have Gisele Yitambe. Gisele Yitambe, after graduating from high school in Yaoundé in 1976, Gisele Yitambe studied economics in France and earned an MBA in the United States. On her return to Cameroon in 1982, she became a lecturer at the Pan-African Institute for Development in Douala. After losing her teaching job, she decided to become a consultant, and through the projects that she dealt with, she developed expertise in a wide range of business activities in Cameroon. The combination of traditional laws that were discriminatory towards women and the lack of government support led Yitambe to set up the Association for the Support of Female Entrepreneurs in Cameroon, known as ASAFE, that has been working and doing wonders in the country since 1987. Madam Gisele Yitambe, once more, thanks for joining 90 Minutes in Africa.
Thank you very much, Elvis, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm sure that we are going to share a lot of good ideas with our public. Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, most of the time, when people are talking about gender equality or others will tell me, let me say gender equity. What they do is they just invite women, but it's something that deals with the interrelations between men and women. And of course, we have a man in the studio. That's the only cock with us in the studio today. His name is Fabien Wandi, the CEO of First Choice Crypto, a crypto trading center that trains Cameroonian youth and African youth on crypto trade and how to navigate the crypto world. Because Fabien Wandi, as you have been telling me, if we don't get involved in crypto in the next 5 years, we might run short of relevance because crypto is going to rule the world. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. And today it's a pleasure being among women that will be talking about something that I strongly do not believe in. So be expecting the worst from me.
And of course, I don't know, my producer, whether Precious Nyarambi is already there. But we are also expecting Precious Nyarambi. Precious Nyarambi is going to be joining us from South Africa, a social entrepreneur with vast experience in startup entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. She's been running a social enterprise for over 7 years and has been collaborating with lots of international organizations across Africa. My studio manager, Romeo, is already there. The program producer, Christain Tebong, is already on seat. Kum Leonard is there for the coordination. The general supervisor, Brian Tambe, is also there to ensure that the program runs well till the end. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Fotabe, investing in gender equality for Africa's transformation. And I start with this burning question: what explains the underrepresentation of women at levels of political leadership and positions of responsibility across Africa?
Thank you very much, Elvis. Thank you very much again for having me. And thank you for asking me to share my ideas vis-a-vis this very important topic. Sometimes I tell people that I'm not in the best position to talk about the history of what has led us to where we are now, because I like to focus on what we are doing right now as women to ensure that the representation is important. But I think that if we look at our mothers and our grandmothers and we go back to our village settings, we begin to understand why this issue of underrepresentation used to be an issue. I think that one of the reasons is because of culture. Our grandparents used to think that if they had to make a choice between who goes to school and who stays home to take care of the kids, when they had male children and female children, the female child was always the one to stay home to take care of the kids, to take care of the home. And of course, all of this affected not just how much education women had, but also their self-esteem. It affected how much they decided to reach out for opportunities. I think that the reasons are many, but what I want to underline today is that we have moved past that. We are seeing a lot of women now who are aspiring to great things. We are seeing that representation in high places is more important than it used to be some decades ago. Much work has been done, more remains to be done, but we cannot overrule the strong influence that culture has had in this issue, especially in our context.
Thank you, Dr. Elmine. Fotabe, let's move over to the United States and join Lumbie Mlambo. Of course, let's give the honor to our external guests for them to talk, and then we'll come back to the studio. Lumbie Mlambo, what are some of the things that have been done not in the right way to women, that is some of the wrongs that the male-dominated society has inflicted on women to the extent that they want that these wrongs, they want to right these wrongs? What are some of them, please?
Okay, yeah, so first of all, I think we women have actually gone through a lot. We have gone through a lot of change that people don't understand. I think only women can feel it, but the thing that we need to understand is that women are just like men. You know, we're just as equally likely to achieve anything and to be seen serious. The only problem is that we're not taken serious and nobody believes us. And just like Ms. Fotabe said, you know, earlier on, girls were taught to stay home and boys were going to school. I mean, we're past that now. But there still are some places in some countries that still kind of embrace that kind of culture, that says women or girls stay at home and take care of whatever, you know, is going on at home, while, you know, boys and men go out there and are the like breadwinners, are the, you know, providers and everything. So there's still that difference, there's still that gender equality gap that we need to close. I know that we're talking about that now. A lot of people have been talking about this for a very long time. How do we close that gender equality gap? But I mean, it takes all of us coming together, sitting at the table and talking about these issues. I mean, by that I mean men, women, private sectors, you know, public sectors, government sectors, and everybody just coming together to talk about the issues that we have. Because if we don't really see face to face and sit at the table, we're never going to solve the problem. The thing is, we're tired of talking about this gender equality gap. We are tired. We've been talking about it for many years. Now it's time to move forward and just forget about it and talk about how do we solve the problem. That's how I see things.
Thank you, Lumbie. I get now to Gisele Yitambe. Gisele Yitambe are alpha men, because if women are unable to grow and if they're able to live up to their full potential, it is surely because there are alpha men in the society, a patriarchal society, who might not want that women should develop because of some laid down principles that have been maybe inherited from generations to generations. Are alpha men so difficult to be stopped by women, considering that women constitute at least more than 50% of the population?
I think when we talk about gender equality, it's not just an issue, it's not just a woman's issue, it's a societal issue. Because when we think of unpaid work, if society would like to see how there is equality in this society, we have to be able to bear the same burden of the kind of the unpaid work, of the societal need for the society. Because when you see the women are the one caring for children, the women are the one caring for sick people, the women are the one caring for, you know, for the house and for everything, and this is not paid. So the women are even subsidizing the enterprises by supporting part of what they should have been investing in. So it's a talk where we should bring both together to see how we reach a happier society. It's not about the women getting to where the men are, because I'm not sure that where the men are, they have been able to make us happy in this society. It's about, you know, getting together, discuss, moving, you know, allowing everybody to be able to bring her full potential to the construction of the society. I think it's time, I'm happy to have a man here on board. It's time that is not an issue discussed just by women, it's an issue discussed by the whole society.
Thank you, Gisele Yitambe. And I get to you now, Fabien Wandi, the representative of the men here in the studio. Of course, many women with lots of potential have been confined to the four walls of the family home, restricting their activities to procreation and household chores, and they are unable to relieve their full potentials. What do you think is pushing men to do this?
First of all, when you go on the internet, let me read word to word on Wikipedia what is gender equality. They say gender equality, also known as sexual equality or equality of sexes. This is where my problem is coming in. They can never be the same. That's the first thing I want every woman listening to me to understand. We are all different. Let us not go far. You know, men are driven by things. Their interest is in things. Women are, their interest is in people. And they are two different things. If you bring that they are all equal, then you are creating a very bad society. Because women will not even know where they belong. Let's take, for example, in the studio here, Madame Fotabe is here. Madame Fotabe, what she is doing, she's interested in people. Her interest is in people.
Madame Yitambe.
Madame Yitambe, her interest is in people. Even the lady, her interest is in people. You hear she's a humanitarian. But now, for us to bring to a level where they say people women and men should be the same. No.
So the interest of men is not in people?
No, it's in things. It's in things. That's why they move into engineering. When you go to the health sector, you will find women there. You can never equalize them. The problem is not that women are not when you create value, you will sit on the table of greatness, whether you are a man or a woman. We forget about gender because value brings people on that table. It's not a table that was designed that you just come shift your chair and you sit. No. The table was designed that value will bring you there and you sit there, whether you are a man or a woman. So we should not be empowering. I cannot open my company and I tell you, come and work here because you're a woman, because I want gender equality. No. If you have that value, I will pay for you and I will do everything to have you in. So we should forget about that thing, that gender equality. There is a place for a woman. It's not in the kitchen, but there is a place for a woman. There is a place for a man. And when we do not define this, we will create homosexuals in this world. We will bring gays into the world because they think they are the same. For Africa to grow, let the woman understand her place. We call it gender empowerment, not gender equality.
Okay, Madam Fotabe, you listen to his own view. He's now coming up with another gender empowerment and not gender equality. Do you agree with his view that women are interested in people while men are interested in things?
If you want to limit me to that question, yes, sure. Sure, this is our makeup. You know, women have a different makeup from men. I think what he's saying is that women are more emotional beings. Men are more maybe visual, if you like. But what I would like to say in response to what he has said is that there are two things. First, I agree that women were not created the same way as men. But to say the same and end it there, I have a problem, because I'm a Christian and I believe that women, like men, were created equal by God. We're all human beings and we're created equal. So before God, we are created equal. But to say that we're created the same way, that's not right, because we have a different gender and they have a different gender. Now the second thing, he said creating value brings people to the table. I agree. But we will not, of course, ignore the fact that for so many years, women have tried to create that value. But going back to his question, some man somewhere has been saying, hey, listen, your value is not good enough. So you have to keep this value of yours aside. I am saying for so many years. Right now, like I said in my opening statements, many women have raised their heads. We can feel their impact. We can see the value. I think I am creating that value. I think she is creating, I think every single woman here is creating that value. But to say that where we are today, only value brings people to the table, we are missing something, because there are still lots of people out there, men, even women, who still think that a woman is not good enough to sit on every table. I think that this is what we are talking about. But if we want to look at what else can women do to sit on that table, I would say that women have to dare. It is not just creating value, it is daring to reach out and take the opportunities that are out there. Because
and empowerment, not equality. Well,
yeah, we are coming to that. Equality, I think that if we go back to what I said, we all were created equal. That I would always say. But I think that if rather than talking about gender empowerment, I'll talk about equity. I prefer always to talk about equity, because equity means that you're giving everybody what they need to do what they want to do. And I think that this is what I'm advocating every day. I give everyone a chance to be able to have a good education. Men, women, boys, girls. I give them that because I believe in equity. But please, let us not forget that even as we speak, there are some women who can create value, but who are not sitting on tables, because there is someone somewhere, and like I said again, not just men, but even women are saying that your value is not good enough for this table. So I think that if we want to move away from this, we need to be looking at how do we empower women to develop self-confidence, strong enough to stand up and seize the opportunities out there, not just saying that they should create value, because they are creating value.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Fotabe Elmine. Ladies and gentlemen, you can join the conversation by sending us a message using SMS or WhatsApp. You can send questions to the panelists in the studio. I'm going to read them out and they will try to give you the answers. You can also watch us on Facebook using My Media Prime TV. You like the page, and of course you can watch and share to other groups, inviting other people to watch. Same as you can watch us on YouTube using BT Media on YouTube. If you are on Canal Sat, you can watch us on channel 309, and you can watch us on Amos 19 and other cable networks across Africa. Let's move over to the US before we come back to you. Of course, we'll move over to the US to join Madam Lumbie. But I would like to know from our producer if Precious Nyarambi is already around. Precious Nyarambi, can you get us? It appears Precious Nyarambi is not yet there. Lumbie Mlambo, I get back to you. Women account for more than 50% of the African population, but according to a report that was published in 2018, they generated only 33% of the continent's collective GDP. What can be the cause of this? Their inability to generate a greater GDP for Africa.
Well, again, it goes to, what women can do. If we're not given the equal space to play, then therefore we're not really contributing much to the economy. That's what the one thing I keep talking about, is that we need to be given equal space. And by saying that we want to close the gender equality, we're not saying that, we're equal to men. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. Nobody's saying that. All we're saying is that we need to be treated equally, just like everybody else. We need to have the same opportunities that are granted to men to be granted to women. That's what we mean. So I think that a lot of people misunderstand that. They think that we're trying to be the same. Yes, of course, God created us to be equal, but that's not what we're talking about. So when we're having these discussions, we need to be mindful and know that in order to close the gap and also to that global, to be a part of it at the same level, at the same opportunity. Because if we're not doing that, there's no way that women are going to contribute more each year. We're going to contribute less and less. Already with COVID, we've seen that that has set women far, far behind. So how do we catch up? Now we're playing catch up, right? Because we're falling far behind. All the work that we've done for decades of work has been rolled back and we've lost that. So we're rebuilding again. We're trying to get back on the wagon, and we're trying to say, if you want us to contribute to the to the global economy, we need to be funded as women. Invest in women, and we're worth it, because a lot of jobs that have not been created are to be created by women. Women are smart thinkers. We're incredibly smart. We can design and develop just about any technologies that men can also do. So all we need is just that opportunity to be funded, for our business to be funded, and for people to believe us that we can also contribute just as much as men can. We just don't have that opportunity right now. So okay. That's why this is lagging behind. That's why there's that gap.
Thank you. Thank you. My producer indicating that Precious Nyarambi from South Africa is there. Precious, can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you. I can see you. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. I don't know. I think our producer is trying to fix that. But before you come in, while our producer tries to arrange so that we can really see you well, I will get to Gisele Yitambe here with us in the studio. What will change in Africa if women are given positions of responsibility at various levels? What will change comparatively?
A lot will change, because as he said, women are human-centered, and the continent need to have some people who are there to really change, support the continent to raise their heads. And I think Elmine raised something I would like to come back to, is about equity, because we should not confuse ourselves. It's about giving opportunity to everybody to be able to use his full talent. If today, for example, the society was to remove some unpaid work out of the hand of the women, women will have more time to invest in what we produce for the society, because it's about the society. It's not about us alone. It's about how we make our society a better place. So it's much more, let us leave aside this equality word, because what we are talking is equity. Give each one, somebody who cannot climb the floor, a way to be able to reach here, because you have supported him you have support to take him there. If we give the women the power in Africa, I've been in several political activities. When you arrive there, the women want to be seen, to be acknowledged by what they have done. Men arrive there, they want the position. I want to be the president, I want to be this and that. And at the end of the day, when the women have finished showing what they are capable of doing, the men just say, okay, all the positions are taken. We want to transform the continent, because the continent is really in bad shape. So it needs women to do this work of transformation, because we know how to educate people. We know how to educate our children. For 18 years, we have been there with carrot, with stick, showing the direction, knowing where we are taking him. So this is a talent that a continent at this moment needs: resilience, enthusiasm, and energy, which are from women.
Okay, thank you, Gisele. Well, I'm not marginalizing you in the studio because you're the only man. Let's permit us to take Precious for the first time, at least before we get back to you. Precious Nyarambi, can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you, I can hear you.
Okay, but I can see you if, whatever the case, but we can hear you. If the worst comes to the worst, I think they're going to put your picture and we'll get you talk. To get a perspective from South Africa, how far have you gone in South Africa as far as the empowerment of women is concerned? Can you say you've taken some major steps forward in that regard?
I still think it's a process. Greetings, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. I still think it's a process to actually have women having equal share, because you're still dealing with women that don't have financial instruments to scale up, to grow their initiatives. You still have girls that are not in school. You also still don't have collateral for women to be able to secure enough funding for their initiatives and projects. But we are saying that women are capable. We still don't have also enough women in leadership roles to be able to raise up all the concerns that are needed to scale up the work that women are doing. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can hear you 5 on 5. I just think our viewers would like to see you. So as time goes on, when our producer will have time, I know he's manipulating so many machines, he will just put your picture there so that, of course, people can see you talking if we can see your face. He's going to do that. But we can hear you 5 on 5. Go on, please, with what we are trying to develop.
Sorry?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I can hear you 5 on 5. You are talking about what has been done so far in South Africa as far as the empowerment of women is concerned. That's what we are talking about.
Yes, and I'm still saying that it's still a long way to go. Women are still marginalized in the critical decision-making areas, and there need to be a holistic approach in making sure that women can be involved. And one of the reasons why women must fully be invested in is because women are capable of, if they get full range of credit, if they get enough banking and financial services and facilities essential to more, they can be able to do better. They invest more in their communities and families. So we are still lagging behind. I see a lot of women are awakening to that call that they can go beyond, they can start their own initiatives. But the issue of collateral to be able to secure the right funding, also the issue of not knowing where exactly to knock and ask for the right help, enough exposure. We are also dealing with societal issues where women are not easily supported. You know, there's an issue of saying women must be able to do, they can only do so much, the rest they should be able to submit and just listen to one area of support. But that's not sustainable, because the real issues is that most women are single women. They are not able to fully fund a lot of initiatives. So I still feel that there's a lot of gap. There's a gender gap in terms of women empowerment.
Oh, thank you, Precious. We can see you now, and I'm sure you can see us. Thank you, Precious. Let's see her again. Tell her to see her again, of course, so that our viewers will see the person that was talking. Okay, that's Precious. You just have to. How can she do so that we can so that the rectangular band will not cut her face? Yeah, of course. Just raise your camera a little bit. Of course, we can see you now. That's Precious Nyarambi joining us from South Africa. Precious Nyarambi is a social entrepreneur and is the publisher of Vessels of Virtue magazine, and she runs all companies there in South Africa. Fabien Wandi, I come back to you. Of course, you've heard the cry of women. They want to be empowered. They want to be given the opportunity to take Africa to the next level. And I think that as African men, we should be able to help them in this process. What do we think we can do as men to ensure that women do what they were born to do?
Okay, the first thing we need to define is what were they born to do. So if we define that, then we will know if we should empower them. I really strongly disagree with this statement, equality. So we are on the same terms now on equity or empowerment. The first thing about power is that power is not given, whether to a man or to anyone. You take it by force. And men are naturally aggressive. That is why they take it by force. Whoever sits on the table, he will not give power to anyone. You take it by force. And men are aggressive. That's why the prisons are full of them. So, if you want to talk about equality, then we are trying to tell women that being aggressive, which is not the case. For our society to move to the next level, women need to understand where they are. There is a common statement that behind any successful man, there is a woman. No, I don't agree with that. I am not saying that I hate women to be at the top level. Do not misunderstand me. I'm just telling you that beside any man is a woman. We are putting this so that people can understand that it is not a problem of only women facing it. It's a problem of everyone. Everyone is going through that, because power is never given. Power is seized, and men are aggressive by nature. Our society is defined in such a way that if you want to rise to the top, create value or take it by force. So as a woman, if you want to build up to gain this influence, whenever Madame Fotabe moves into a hall, they give her a seat. Why? Because she's a woman? No. They forget about gender that time. They give her a mic. I've been attending so many seminars that she has been speaking. Why do they call her? Because there is something in her that makes her unique. So if you want to grow to that level, look for that something in you that makes you unique. Nobody will come and tell you that they need to maybe empower you or do all of these things. No, there is uniqueness in anyone. That is why I say every human is an NFT, a non-fungible token. I'm talking about crypto now, forgive me. So, you are unique the way you are. And for you to create difference, you need to bring that uniqueness on table. And if you bring that uniqueness on table, the world will hear your voice. Oprah Winfrey, if she is not giving out that value that she's giving out, nobody would have known her. There are so many women who have risen to the top, and they have influence. This is because they have identified that uniqueness in them, and they are bringing it to the world. If you will see that your equality will make your family break down, Mama, don't go for that equality. Build up your family.
Thank you, Fabien. Dr. Fotabe, of course, he's raising a very important point there. it means that women constitute about more than 50% of the world's population, and of course the same in Africa. And if you group yourself, of course, and say that we are going to take it by force, I don't want to use the word I usually say the kingdom of God suffer violence and violence taken it by force. I don't want to go to that, but it means that if women come together and say we are taking up this thing by force, even when it comes to democracy, if you decide that you want to make a woman a president of any country in Africa, you're going to make the woman a president. So if you decide that, okay, we want to elect a woman as mayor of a particular locality, you will. So what then is stopping women from taking over? Instead of coming to organize an international day where they sing songs, dance, and all of that.
That's not very fair there. Thank you very much, Fabien. That was nice. At one point, I thought that you were trying to pacify me by using me as an example, but that was very brilliant. Thank you very much. I'll take those as compliments. Yes, I agree with him a lot on lots of stuff. I really do agree with him that people need to create value. I agree with him. I also agree with you, Fabien, that people have to seize opportunities. Where I do not agree with you is the aggression. Please, not the aggression. Okay, I will not tell women to be aggressive, even if men are. But I'll tell women that they should seize opportunities. You talked about power, and Elvis is reiterating that. There are different forms of power. Not all are physical. Not all are mental, if you like, but there are different forms of power. And if women identify the kind of power that they wield, then yes, they can get lots of things. I'm not going to say that they will get everything that they need, because that's not exactly true, but they'll be able to get a lot of things. I'm saying it's not exactly true because of our society. There are a lot of things that women still cannot have today because their teachers tell them it is not for them, because their mothers tell them it's not for them, because their fathers tell them it's not for them, because their grown-up children will say you cannot do that. So there are a lot of things still women cannot do, but I say that women have the power to do a lot of things. If you're a woman out there and you're listening to this, anything that you want to do, you can do. Life comes down to choices. Fabien said if you have a family, and then you have a position, you should make a choice. It comes down to choices. If you want to make your voice heard in education, then that's a choice you have made. Live by that choice. Live by all the opportunities that are beside you. Rise up to them. Take responsibility for their actions, and I am sure that if women do that, they are going to do a lot of things. And just like Elvis said, there are lots of women out there. Women constitute the majority everywhere. If women start learning how to pool their resources together, then they can wield the kind of soft power that will give them the opportunities and will help them to seize those opportunities that are out there. We don't need to be aggressive as women. We just need to be smart. We just need to come together. We just need to provide more role models for the younger women out there, and women are going to do a lot.
Thank you so much, Madam Fotabe. Before we move over to join Lumbie and Precious, I continue with you now, Madam Yitambe, Gisele. What should we do to ensure that the transformation and empowerment of women is felt at a family level? When I'm talking about it being felt at a family level, especially here in Africa, we still talk about men being the head of the family, men mostly being the one to provide in the family. So we find lots of women occupying positions of responsibility, some of them working, and they're like, I am working, I'm bringing in value, but at the end of the day, the person that has to provide and take care of the family is a man. So we keep on asking ourselves a question, why then should women be empowered in Africa if the man remains the person to remains at the forefront of provision in the family?
As I've been keeping saying, is that this is a commitment to be taken at the national level, because there are works that are done by women and that the men are not sharing at the house level. I think it's about bringing those two people to be able to value the capacity of each one and allow each one to express his own capabilities. Because even if the man is the breadwinner, the woman is doing a lot of works. There are many studies who have shown that the women have longer days working than men. But this work is not valued, is not paid. So we have to come up with a way to unburden, to remove some burden on the women. That is one of the things that would allow the women even to go far, to go as far as possible as they want. Because if those work at the domestic level is still just the work of the woman, the competition is not fair. The competition is not fair there. So even the men in the house we should come on an agreement where we share everything. We share the housework, we share a lot of things to allow everybody to contribute for the family. Because the contribution is not just for the woman, it's for the betterment of the family.
Okay, you want to say something just briefly?
Yes. I'd like to add to that. You know, women are not bothered about the fact that the man is the head of the well, I am not bothered. I think it's a wonderful arrangement. I think that we were created and we know that someone has to take the lead. We are not bothered by that. Women should not even be bothered by the fact that they work hard but someone has to take the lead or has to take the credit for taking the lead. But what I think is the issue is that everyone's contribution is needed. And now this is to women. We have to understand that we have a place. That place is not at the helm of the family, but we have a place and our contributions are valued. But we want everyone else in the family to keep valuing that contribution.
Thank you. I now move over to the United States to join Lumbie Mlambo again from Zimbabwe. Lumbie, are you following the discussion? I hope the connection is very fair with you.
Yeah, the connection is good.
Okay, it's great.
But
okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You wanted to say something. Let me allow you to express your mind before I ask a question.
Yes. So I think the responsibility has to be shared between men and women because here's the thing. If we still believe in, women should do this and men should do that, we'll never break through this cycle of, actually I'm talking about the cycle of poverty, for lack of a better word. Let me just say that. We need to not break the responsibilities. We need to share the responsibility. We need to all value each other's, just like Madame Gisele and Fotabe were saying, we need to share the responsibilities for the sake of the economy, for the sake of the growth of the global economy. Because if we don't do that, we're always going to be left behind. There's absolutely no way you can account for women's contributions by not taking that into account itself. So I believe that what is lacking is really like an understanding that there's no such thing that by nature men are aggressive. There's no such thing. Everything is learned. We just need to unlearn everything. We need to teach ourselves to unlearn and learn the right way. Learn to invest in teaching yourself to start learning afresh, start learning anew, so that we can all, be taught the right things and not the lies that we've been taught. Because if you still believe in the lies that say, you should be aggressive and you should not be aggressive, or you should stay home and you should go to work, we never close the gender equality gap. That will never end. It's never going to end. So we need to just value each other's work and understand that each one of us brings something to the table, brings something to the gender equality, brings something to the global economy. Each one of us is valuable. We just need to believe in that. Because women are a vital, rare voice, vital, rare force. Because what we have has not been listened to. What we have has not been implemented. We are here to create new jobs that have not been created. So now we're saying that, look at where we are in the world. Look at where things are. You see that, if you had to account for women's input, you had to account for women's ideas, bold ideas, we'll be somewhere by now. We would have created jobs that have never been created before.
Thank you.
Opportunities that have been never heard of before.
Thank you, Lumbie. Let's
just need given that space.
Thank you, Lumbie. Let's now move to Precious, because I'm sure Precious will be leaving us before the end of the broadcast because she has another meeting. Precious, are you there?
I am. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can hear you 5 on 5, Precious. Actually,
Thank you.
There's a question in mind right now. The society is suffering from moral decadence because many women are at the forefront. Many women are picking up positions of responsibility that entails they are not at home most of the time. And because of that, we are having a new breed of crooks, a new breed of thieves, a new breed of, a morally decayed society because women are no longer available to ensure that the children are well catered for at home. So what can we do to ensure that true women should be present at the forefront of companies, at the forefront of the society, but at the same time they should not forget about their role, which of course they are very good at doing that, taking care of children. So what can we do?
I think that the fear of society is that when women rise up to their place, it can be chaotic, which is unfair. It's an assumption also that when men say that we need to be aggressive to get opportunities, we need to do this. The reality is we are facing challenges, we are facing discrimination. It's not a fair play. If it was a fair play, we wouldn't be advocating for gender equality. The bottom line is there's gender equality, and I feel that women must say what they are facing. It's in saying it, it's in acknowledging that it is there, that women can be able to get the right support. And we are not saying we have to be aggressive or anyone has to be aggressive, but we are saying that women must be given equal opportunities. And when I say that women must say the challenges that they are facing, some of us, there were instances where for you to rise, someone will say, compromise your virtue for me to give you an opportunity. And we are saying we cannot be silent about those things. It's not fair play. We have come to a place where we have competence. We can be able to deliver certain things. We have our unique points that we can bring on the table. That should be noticed without us having to try so hard to be noticed. And being domesticated and being relegated to that, I believe that no one is called to that role alone. There is so much more we can do, and then we advocate for women that are more balanced, that can be able to strike motherhood, that can be able to be relevant on the marketplace, but we want to be heard. And just a few recommendations that I want to suggest before I leave. I think it's important for us to make public financial management systems work for women. And I'll go back to the issue of collateral. Most women, due to societal norms, they don't have any collateral to be able to gain financial instruments that work for them. You see that a woman doesn't have title deeds. Most women don't have. So now if the system that is in place that banks have got to give women loans and we are required to present title deeds, we do not have. So number one, that doesn't support the gender equality gap that we are trying to address. And number two, we need to confront and overcome the cultural and social norms that hold back women and girls. They are there. We must not put a blind eye on that. They are there. It's true. And there must be also gather evidence that support gender works. We need to be really, like I heard the other speaker speaking about, research has been done just to identify the issues that women are making, or that they are more productive. They can equally contribute. We also need to actually track the proportion and coverage of aid that has been focused on achieving gender inequality, because it is there. Those are some of my few recommendations. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on your platform.
Thank you, Precious. Nyarambi, of course, some other time we would like to have you again so you tell us more about what you do in South Africa, your social works, your virtues of Vessels of Virtue magazine, and all what you do there in South Africa. Thank you for promoting 90 Minutes in Africa and my media prime there in South Africa. We are going to leave you to continue with the other meetings. And of course, I hope you just have just 5 minutes to attend the next meeting, right? So we are going to leave you to continue with your meetings.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fabien, I raised an
Thank you
issue.
to every other speaker. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Fabien, let me take some messages before I come to you with a controversial question. Hi, precious Madam Fotabe, Lumbie, Gisele, and Wandi. How do we promote gender equality in settings where opportunities and value are attributed to men only and not because of competence? How do we break the bias in settings where women tend to be the reasons why others don't move further because they deem they don't have value? I know you, Lumbie and Precious, to be powerful women who say what you mean and mean what you say. I need your words to hush some energy, enthusiasm, and resilience in women who have it all but are deprived by well-defined environmental factors so they can break forth. Thanks, Elvis, for the topic and the quality of guest, Amy Banda. Okay, I get this other message. Emma Wendium saying, I think women are part of their problem, Mr. Bo. Take the case of war-torn areas in the world. No woman will accept to be at the war front, but will tend to complain. We get this empowerment by doing and not by saying. Hi and courage to all in the studio. Diom Emmanuel. Let me take some other messages too before we come back, so that you can send your own message or your questions to anyone in the studio by using the number you find on your screen. Creme brulee. The majority of the women are local. The few educated ones from Africa are in the diaspora. The government of Africa should invest in the women, one of which is no school fee, by ensuring that there is no school fees for women. Asim Beng says, great discussion to you guys there, and thank you. According to Creme brulee, again, the title for this year didn't hold too well for me. The equality word gives diverse definitions and creates confusion with the definition. Now, I know you want to react on moral decadence because of the position leaking out. Yes. But I want Fabien Wandi to present the problem. Fabien, do you agree with me that the fact that women take up positions of responsibility in the society, the fact that they are repeatedly absent from homes, and you know how very, very distracted men can be when it comes to children, the women will be trying to fix one problem while creating another, because we are going to see the rise of moral decadence in the society because children are not well groomed from childhood. Do you agree with me?
Of course. There is a place for the woman in our society. And all these Western philosophies that they are bringing into us, I don't agree with that nonsense. They will come and destroy us, I am telling you. There is, before, have you realized that there is increase in social crimes, juvenile delinquencies? That is what is happening. Gender equality. Let me tell you, if you are a woman and you are listening to me today, you are unique, you are good, but there is a place that you will be perfectly fit. You want equality? Let them launch concourse for engineers today and say everybody should apply. Then you will understand that there is a place that this gender belongs. They should launch concourse for nurses and see the women that will apply. Then you will know that there is a place.
And the army.
Yes, in the army. There is a place for a woman and there is a place for a man. The place of a woman is not in the kitchen. She has a place in the society to make it balance. The moment we are talking about women and men being equal, we are destroying this Africa we want to build. The reason why we are destroying this Africa we want to build is that there will be no creativity. You see, people commit suicide every day because they don't love what they do. They are not themselves. And that is what gender equality is bringing in today. Sit on the table and identify where you belong. I always tell you, if it is not just a problem of women, there are guys out there that they lack this self-confidence also. They lack this self-esteem. It is not just a problem of the gender of ladies, no. It's a problem that we need to identify where each and everyone belongs. This life is like a wardrobe full of many suits. And the designer of that wardrobe, Madame Fotabe called the designer God. Some person called him Allah. There are different names we tag to the designer. and the designer designed a particular suit only for you. When you go to that wardrobe and collect the suit of another person because society is telling you of gender equality, you are making two mistakes in life. The first mistake is that your own suit will remain in your wardrobe unused. The cause you came to pursue will be unpursued. The wounds you came to heal will be unhealed. The things you came here to do will be undone. The second mistake is that you have taken the suit of another person and you'll be disturbing another person in his own part of life. If I marry today and I sit in my family, there is a place for my woman. The children, I cannot have that kind of energy, the kind of love, because women are naturally designed to get value in people. She would like to raise up this child to be a responsible man, a responsible woman in our society. The moment we say gender equality, that she'll be fighting to go and provide, she'll be fighting to raise up the children, she'll be fighting to do this, none of them will be done perfectly. Then we are bringing a very bad society to Africa. Africa needs that women should know where they belong and forget about gender equality. There is a place for them. When we bring gender equality, we are bringing them down. That means we are limiting their potentials. When we bring a scenario where they can build up themselves, even if we get up one day and say everything is equal, women will not still do what they were designed to do because they don't even know what they were designed to do. You listening, you are perfect. You are the way you are because of the reason why you were designed like that. I am dark because of my design, and my design was because of why I am here, and this gives my cause. If I am tall, I am short, I am fat, I am small, it's because the purpose I am here to do. So let's forget about gender equality. Let's forget about that thing. Okay. I think, we should change this topic even.
Anyway, Madam Fotabe, I now hand over the mic to you to react to the issues that he has raised.
Definitely.
Of course, yeah, I want to react to the issues he has raised, especially on the issue of moral decadence in the society. As women leave the home and focus more on the profession, what happens to the home? What happens to our children? What happens to the morals in the society, the upbringing of children?
Thank you very much. I like it every time he intervenes. It is really very beautiful to listen. There is something that we have to establish. I agree that equality is not the issue here. I think we said that before, that we are talking about equity and not equality, because I would never advocate for women to be equal to men in the sense that we are using here, right? In this context, I would never say that I want women to be equal to men. Like I said before, we were created equal by God. That is, being human in that context, we established that. But to say that we should be treated equally, exactly the same way, irrespective of our gender, irrespective of our needs, it's not exactly what I am advocating for. I think that we are talking about equity, as we said before. Now, when we talk about moral decadence, I get a bit worried when someone attributes that to women, leaving homes and pursuing careers. I think it is no news that women can multitask. It is no news that women are very balanced, and women take their responsibilities very seriously, whether at work, in the family. And I guess this is why today we all have been saying that if some responsibilities are shared, then women can give more. So all we are saying here is not that women are not doing what they are supposed to do because they are pursuing careers. That's not very fair. Women have the right to feel what they want to feel about themselves. Women should have the right to pursue careers that they enjoy, that they think would add value to themselves and to their societies. Women have the right to do all of that. But at the same time, I agree that women have the responsibility to raise children. But the parents, both parents, are supposed to contribute to this. It is wrong to be thinking that if children are to be raised correctly, then women only should have that responsibility. It is wrong. Elvis, you said before that we know how distracted men can be when it comes to raising children. That sounds terrible. If men are distracted when it comes to raising children, then I think we have another problem. We should start educating men. We should start teaching you men how to be less distracted and to be good examples to your children. Because every parent, man or woman, father or mother, has the responsibility of being a good example to their kids. And if children see their parents, both parents, as being good examples, then I think that we are going to have a reduction in this moral decadence. But I'm getting worried when I hear you talk, because I'm feeling that the problem is actually because men feel that it is not their responsibility. Oh, we are distracted, so the mother has to sit down and take care of the kids. No. As when you start bringing life into this world, you have no right to be distracted. You don't have a right to be distracted. You must be a good example for your children. And not only as a man, and not only for the children that you have brought forth, but for all children in the world. So men are supposed to start being responsible. If at all you all men out there agree with Elvis that sometimes you are distracted, then we have work to do making you less distracted. Raising children is the responsibility of both parents, father or mother. But mothers, we know that we are nurturers. We know that we do this better. So we need to learn more to be balanced. We need to be able to multitask, because this is what we're asking for. Even the men have to know that they have to multitask. But please, moral decadence should not be labeled on women. It should not be heaped on women. Everybody, even the media, plays a role. But that's not what we are talking about today. Everyone is contributing to this. If you're listening to this and you're a bad example and you promote hate speech, you are contributing to the moral decadence. If you have a platform like this one you're not using to call out men to be good examples, you are contributing to that. Not just women. But of course, women have their role to play, and we know that role. And I think we are playing that role just fine.
Thank you so much, Madam Fotabe Elmine. I'm sure the men there, they must have heard now that it's good for them to assist women, for them to know that everybody has a role to play. And I want to get your perspective on that. You wanted to react on the issue of moral decadence before I ask the next set of questions?
Yes, yes. I wish I had my statistics, my data here, because since they have starting working on, giving space for women to be well educated. Today, your statistic engineers, you have many women engineers. And today you have almost 50% in the several countries where in science and all those studies where women have joined and they are doing as good as men. It has been shown. So I think we all have to check our statistics. Now, coming from moral decadence, I think we should be bold enough to start asking the good question, are we going in the right direction? Instead of trying to find responsible people who are responsible. Why are we going out to work? Why are we having a career? Is it for the happiness of the family? If so, what should we do together to find a way that the whole family is happy? Because I think we are trying to, we have to think out of the box. We have to question the system in which we are. Is it really good? Is it what we want? Do we want to have women working all the day and men working all their lives and then go to work? The women are at home. The society has tried to say women should be the caretaker, but they are not paying good salaries to the men at the work where they are to be able to make sure that the women will not need to go and work to complement, to balance, to complement what is at home. I think we have to go out of the box and think out of the box, because we are having the assumptions that what is being done now is good, and now we have to try and organize and fit into it. If there is a moral problem in the society, there is something wrong somewhere, we have to look into it, question it, and try to adjust.
Thank you so much. We move over now to Lumbie Mlambo. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Of course, it appears that the coronavirus has led to an increase in violence against women and girls, with many women trapped at home with their abusers due to lockdown measures. How can the situation be reversed?
Yeah, so the pandemic has really kind of disturbed the way people live. It's disturbed our, the way we do things. But also it's brought in, new things that we need to really be serious and take serious and implement going forward. Because I think that if we see how we've done in the last 2 years, in the pandemic, we've actually survived. But these technologies or these ways of living, the ways of doing things, are things that we need to embrace. Because digitization, for example, let's talk about that. Right now, I'm here in America, we're talking, right, on Skype. That means a lot of stuff can be done, remotely, digitally, without leaving homes. So the worry about women leaving home and leaving kids or leaving a man at home who's going to do this should not be a worry, because we have a solution for that. If we've survived for this long with the pandemic, within the pandemic, and there's progress. So what are we talking about? I mean, I think we should just harness the power of technologies and realize that things are changing and that our lives need to align with that. We all need to be thinking, of fresh ideas, new ways of living. And it's no longer like this is how we used to do it way back. We just need to embrace a new way of learning and embrace new jobs that are going to come in. And those new jobs are going to be brought in by women. And I know that COVID has set us behind, but it doesn't mean that we're so far behind that we can't even get started, on this journey. But we need to work with everyone. Because alone, we cannot achieve this task. So we need to really be all together and just understand that there's so much ahead of us. There's so many things that we can do.
Okay.
So I think we should embrace the power of each other and just be thankful, even though that the pandemic is it's not something to be celebrated, but it's brought in new things and new ideas. Bold ideas are coming out of it.
Thank you, Lumbie. We'll be coming back to you. Don't go, we'll be coming back to you so they can talk about what you do at JB Dondolo as a social entrepreneur, as a humanitarian, briefly. Of course, the other women in the studio this week, I decided I would like you to also talk briefly about what you do for our African women and girls. Fabien, I get to you right now. Lots of women across Africa doing a lot of work at the level of humanitarian efforts, at the level of the education and empowering girls and women. But some of them too somehow feel uncomfortable because in Africa, some women, especially those that are single mothers, some that are unmarried and some that are divorced, they seem to face a lot of stigmatization in Africa. What is the cause of this?
The first thing is that women are not ready to take over the opportunities that is around them. Yeah. There are so many opportunities that can come around you and you make money from home. She said something that the world is changing. Is a good thing, yes. Because this is a world where Corona has defined that we can do something even sitting at home. But, okay, today, I train crypto traders. And this is something women can do and make money from it. This is something they can do from home while raising the children and supporting the man. But how many of them will say it's something for men? We are trying to remove people from somewhere they don't want to come out. So we cannot be talking about gender. If you are a woman today and you look around you, you do not see the kind of opportunities that you can do while raising up that child that you value so much, to be responsible, then I don't even see any need for you to go out. We should not be talking about gender equality, which the women are not even willing to take advantage of opportunities. You see, Madam Fotabe, you always launch maybe scholarship for women. How many of them apply? How many of them? So we are trying to remove people. It was like when Moses took the Israelites out of Egypt, they were fighting to go back. So the better thing for us to do is build this woman. Build this woman. Let this woman know who she is. If you build this woman and she knows who she is, then this topic of gender equality will never be discussed.
Okay, Fabien, thank you so much. Let me take this message. Greetings, Elvis, and the awesome panel. The topic is good. This is Doris from Douala. Women just celebrated their day with the theme Breaking the Bias. Women are multitasking and men are not. As Madame Elmine said, taking care of the home is not only the woman's duty. Men need to do the same. Also, we also need to appreciate one another's effort. Women need to be empowered and encouraged to build their self-esteem. Of course, Madam Fotabe, we have 5 minutes to end the program because I will give 5 minutes to Fabien, who is our partner at the end, to talk about his cryptocurrency, which people seem to be very much interested in. But I want you to use this opportunity to tell us what you do. I was going through your website and I discovered that you do a lot of things for girls, a lot of things for women. You offer scholarships, you give seed capital to women, of course, which is part of humanitarian work, and we encourage that here at My Media Prime. But I discovered that many people are not aware of what you're doing, and that is really so strange. So could you just use 2 minutes to explain to us what you do and, you know, as part of your humanitarian efforts?
Thank you very much, Elvis. I educate people. This is what I do. At Fotabe University of Cameroon, FUNIC, we run programs from national diploma level right up to the DBA level with our foreign partners. So basically, I educate. But I do not just provide educational opportunities for women and girls, probably like we're seeing. I do provide for boys and men as well. I have a lot of scholarships for girls. I am right now working on bringing education to kids in rural areas where there is no access to electricity and there's no access to the internet. We're using technology to get that done. But we're not targeting just young girls. We're targeting young boys as well. Because my philosophy is that we would get to this level of not talking about gender equality or equity or whatever if girls and boys are educated. I think that when they have a good education, everyone can sit on the table and discuss about the issues that are facing humanity today and to look at how to take advantage of all the opportunities that are there. So we have those programs. Right now, I have a program for girls, which is coincidentally now. It's I am going to give scholarships to 5 girls to study the MBA program. So if you're following me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on other social media platforms, you would see that. But like I said, we also work with women and we provide them with skills to be able to generate income, support their children and their families. But we also give these opportunities to boys. So if you visit our website on funic.co, you would find that not only girls have opportunities at FUNIC, but boys as well. So basically, what does Madame Fotabe do? She educates people.
Thank you, Madame Fotabe. We will have an opportunity again some other time to have one-on-one so that we really have the opportunity for you to explain what you do in detail. And I was also very impressed with one IDP girl, one skill initiative which you've launched.
Yes.
Which I think is really helping a lot too.
Yeah, we're at the 2nd edition right now. And we know that there are lots of IDP girls in Douala. And we know a lot of ills that may follow being a young girl, being out of home, not having a job, not having your family around. So first of all, we give them their skills, and then we build their self-confidence, and we give them seed capital to be able to start small activities. This way we can keep them away from all the ills that we can imagine in society.
Thank you, Madam Fotabe Elmine. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have an opportunity to bring her again in the studio for us to really have details of what she does for the society. Madam Yitambe and Gisele, Association for the Support of Female Entrepreneurs in Cameroon. The other time, I think a few months ago, I was there to cover what you're doing for IDPs. You're supporting I mean, hawkers, you're supporting young female entrepreneurs in Cameroon. Of course, you have an opportunity today on 90 Minutes in Africa, 1 minute, 30 seconds to tell us what you do.
Thank you very much. ASAF, Association for Support to Women Entrepreneurs, was created in 1990 to develop entrepreneurship among women. And this entrepreneurship has several programs: access to finance, vocational training program, and placement. And with the advent of information and communication technology, we really put emphasis on the information and communication technology skills, because you have many opportunities today. And when you talk of the IDPs, when they we trained some to just have their business on Facebook, because many were coming to say, okay, this is what we have been doing in Northwest. We have been, you know, doing hairdressing, and we created a Facebook page for some, so that from their Facebook page they could be continue the services without having to go and pay premises somewhere. So what we do at ASAF is adapt, look at the environment, adapt to the environment, look at the opportunities for, you know, for girls and boys. When we give scholarship for girls, like for the training program, half of the men pay the full fare, the girls pay half of the fare. That is one of the positive discrimination that we have at the center. So it's our own decision, you know.
Okay. Okay.
So you can reach us at asaf.org.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Gisele Yitambe. Now, Lumbie Mlambo, this is International Week of the Women, and we are celebrating you too. Lumbie Mlambo, she is a global water ambassador. She moves across Africa. She aims to remove barriers to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene in underserved areas in Africa, especially in our hometown, Zimbabwe. Lumbie Mlambo, can you just take 2 minutes, please, to tell us what you do at JB Dondolo, so that we can now run over the program?
Sure. So JB Dondolo removes barriers of access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene in underserved and impoverished communities to reduce poverty and to promote gender equity. That word again, equity. So we work in Zimbabwe and also some places in the US where there are vulnerable people without water and hygiene and sanitation. So we also just recently provided a system for women where women were walking 18 miles a day to fetch water. 9 miles one way, 9 miles going back. So we provided a solarized managed borehole for them.
I think
so
we have the images.
To get water and also do some kind of farming and irrigation and farming and gardens and all that stuff. So this community specifically benefits everybody, men, women, transgender, all kinds of people. So, but we've been working with water for quite a while now. We've also installed systems in other communities in Zimbabwe. At the clinic where women didn't have any water, they didn't have any access at all to drinking water. So we made sure that we provided a filtration system for them that is also sustainable. At the end of each installation, we make sure that we train women and men how to use the systems so that they're able to sustain themselves. They don't have to call us to come back in. So we are very much a nonprofit funded by donations, by grants. And recently we got the Tony Elumelu grant. And what you're seeing on the screens is what we got from Tony Elumelu. And that's what that hashtag TEF stands for. Because we celebrate him for investing in women to build in Africa, for elevating entrepreneurship in Africa. So we're very thankful for that. So that's what we do at JB Dondolo.
Thank you so much.
And our website again is jbdondolo.org.
Thank you so much, Lumbie Mlambo. Of course, you've always been part of us, and it's our role to also showcase what you guys are doing, especially as you are helping Africa in the humanitarian domain. Our only man in the studio, I'm going to end with you right now. before we round up the program completely. It is time to get your own share of money in cryptocurrency. Mr. Crypto is here. You've been in this program for at least 3 times. And we have 4 minutes, and I'll owe you 1 minute because there's another interview coming up immediately after that. The last time my media prime was there because you were graduating your first batch of students who learned crypto trading and the first choice crypto academy. So can you tell us what your plans so far? Are you already recruiting people for the second batch?
Our second batch is starting on the 16th. There is actually, in any generation, there is actually the skills you need to succeed in that generation. There was a time that salt created the millionaires of a generation. There was a time that cowries created the millionaires of a generation. What is creating the millionaires of this time? We are talking about cryptocurrency. And entrepreneurship is one of the best sectors to engage in, but there is one problem with entrepreneurship in Africa, that the person teaching you has never sold water at a profit. That is why I advocate for Fotabe University, so that you go there to gain practical skills, not somebody teaching you who is not doing what is actually required. There is something you can do in this generation to be rich, and I'm telling you, it's cryptocurrency. There is one problem with Africa, and I always say it, is that we measure in minor things. We put a lot of effort in useless things. Even if you are the best toilet digger, you will never be rich. There is what you can do in this generation. What you are doing today, if you put half of the effort in some sectors, you'll be rich. But the problem is the human mind is designed that it resists change. There is war going on in Ukraine. How are the people surviving? Cryptocurrency. So you need to master this sector. Cameroon is working on legalizing crypto. If they raise up now unemployment, or let's say they need teachers to teach cryptocurrency in schools, you have been looking for a job. Do you have the skills that Cameroon require now to be recruited? No. There are skills that when you gain them in this generation, there is no magic. You will be rich. And these are the skills that I call the skills that guarantee success. And these are the skills you should engage in. And right now, I'm telling you, the best skill to gain is cryptocurrency trading, marketing. You see, if you gain the marketing skill, for example, you'll never be poor. If you gain crypto trading skill, the world is transiting into crypto. Right now, I'm telling Fotabe University that if I want to come and pay my fees, I will not bring France CFA, I'm bringing crypto. So you should consider putting it in your program. This is a sector that has raised a lot of millionaires. I have youth of my age that are doing things that you cannot believe. Come to my office. I have invested over 18 million in that office. Where did you think I got the money from? It's in crypto. This is a sector that I tell you, if you are going to school, don't go and just defend a degree in nonsense. Because so many students are moving, but they are not progressing. You live from one class to another, but at the end of the day, if they ask you now, if you have the chance to go back to school, are you going to study what you study? I'm asking you today, listening to me. If you go back to school now to defend that degree, are you sure you are going to study what you studied? Then this gives you a notion that things are changing. Look at where the world is going to and get there first. That is how successful people think. I have raised a student who has only first school living certificate. He is doing very well in the financial market. What is your complaint? I have students of 60 years. I have students of 18. Gender, age is not anything in the field. I have students who are male and female. So gender equality, let's forget about it in this field. You can do it. You can What is the name of your grandfather? If you cannot remember, it's because he left you with nothing. And your name will be forgotten the same way if you don't leave anything. And when you have money, I tell you, you can influence this generation. Then, if women have money today, we'll forget about this topic, gender equality. They will not talk about gender equality because there is financial empowerment. Engage in this sector at this moment, and you will never regret it.
Thank you, Fabien. Could you please just give your number? Give your number to your viewers and maybe an email which they can use to contact you.
Okay, you can get to me on the number 679-268196. 679-268196. Better get to me on WhatsApp so that I can give you every information you need to make informed decisions.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Dr. Fotabe Elmine for taking her time out of her very busy schedule to be part of my panel today. I want to thank you, Madam Gisele Yitambe, a very busy woman who had to cut off all her programs, stop all of them just to come and be part of 90 Minutes in Africa. I want to thank you, Fabien Wandi, the director of the Crypto First Choice Academy, for coming to 90 Minutes in Africa and for being our partner. Of course, my media prime has always been accompanying you and covering your events. I want to thank you, Lumbie Mlambo, CEO of JB Dondolo. I know it's still morning in the United States and you got up very early just to be part of this show. That shows how you honor 90 Minutes in Africa. And I want to thank the entire 90 Minutes in Africa crew who are always there giving ideas in Mawenziwu and all those that are there to ensure that 90 Minutes in Africa becomes the program it is. Our studio manager today was Romeo. The program was produced by Christain Tebong, coordinated by Kum Leonard, supervised by Brian Tambe. I am BOH Elvis. Thanking you for watching. See you next week, God willing. Bye-bye.